Now there was a first part to this episode, so let's talk about that briefly. It was great. I mean, it dipped a little bit in the middle, but not enough to say it was bad. It was just kind of like, there was a lot of tense and lots of stuff was happening at the start. Lots of stuff was happening at like the 3/4 mark, but then if you imagine, there is a second quarter. Just the second quarter was just a little bit slow. But yes, well enough in time. Great job. Dr. Falls, let's talk about that. It was a very surprising start. I mean, the end of last week's was like, holy shit, the Master's back, and there's Cyberman, Cyber Bill, also there's spoilers in this. It's like, holy crap, what's happening? And we start with a village. A little village. The hype was here, and then it just came down here, which is so Moffat. He's so great at just contrasting the extreme with the mundane. But of course, doesn't stay mundane for long, because the Cyberman pops out of a spaceship, holding the Doctor. What an iconic image to begin the episode. This whole episode, apart from, obviously, Peter Capaldi and Pearl Mackie, it's all about Master and Missy, surely. The chemistry between those characters was surprisingly amazing. I did find this section quite strange. It was such a sudden save-the-day moment, like, you know, they were just toying with him and all of that, and then the Master does the great thing that I was hoping he'd do, grabs the wheelchair, you know, I can't decide, sort of thing. Which I don't think this is how you use a wheelchair. And wheels him over to the edge and he's like, look at this, Doctor! This is my plan! And it's like, you know, this kind of like end of part 1 of an episode level thing, and then the Doctor's like, haha, you didn't see what I did. I typed in a keyboard to make them look at too hot. Which was a great resolution. It's just kind of like, holy crap, that was crammed into 5 minutes. And it's like, great save the day moment, the Doctor escapes from the wheelchair and he's like, haha, I got out of this. And then, I mean, this is how he walks really, isn't it? And then he gets shot by the Cybermen and you're like, holy crap, that was it! He's on the downward spiral now. Adam was wrong. It wasn't a long regeneration. It was just then. And I like that we didn't dwell on the fact that that's the reason it all kicks into gear. The bit that kills him isn't the biggest thing. The biggest thing is what he does in the time before he regenerates. And I love that after all of that, we get a quiet scene with Bill in a barn. Bill in a barn? How could a Bill in a barn be in a barn? I knew exactly why she was in the barn and why she could be Bill. But, my god, what a scene. When the girl gives her the mirror, you're like, oh shit, here it comes, or at least I was. Other people were probably like, why is she giving her a mirror? What's this mean? But when she turns around, oh crap, she's a Cyberman, and then she knows that so she thinks that she looks like one. This was amazing on so many people's parts. It was amazing on Pearl Mackie's part, because holy shit, what acting that was. It was amazing on Rachel Talalay's part because the way that it cuts between Bill and the Cyberman, heart-wrenching. And of course, amazing on Stephen Moffat's part for writing such a thing. And you got the Master and he's like, haha, I love that I did this to you, look at me, I'm evil. It's like, oh my god, I miss John Sims' Master. I didn't realise I missed him because he was kind of in 3 episodes and I'm like, good job. And then he came back and was like, okay. But it was like, oh my god, that's the Master. That's the new series Master. He's just evil and conniving, and it's like, thank goodness John Sim got to be the Master without some weird overarching plot. He got to just be a scheming, evil Master. So thank you, Stephen Moffat. But I love throughout this episode, Capaldi is struggling to come to grips with the fact that he is regenerating. That he is on his way out. And I love that that is paralleled with Bill, who is struggling to realise that she's dead. That there is no way back from being a Cyberman. I thought, you know, visually, and also through Stephen Moffat's amazing writing and Murray Gold's score, and the acting of everyone, my goodness, what a great, great idea for a Doctor's regeneration, to be able to pair that with his companion. For once, unknowingly, they're both sharing the same emotions. As I said, unknowingly, neither of them reconcile with each other. I mean, Bill tells the Doctor she doesn't want to live if she can't be her, but the Doctor doesn't tell her that he's on his way out. He didn't explain regeneration to her. He just passed it off at a passing remark and never went through it. I don't know if Bill knows that he can come back, can regenerate at least. I mean, at the end of the episode, she seemed to think that he could at least wake up. I don't know if she knows that he'll change his face. She did say she wants to see him again, and hopes that she'll see him again, but I don't know if she'll know it's him. What a sad fact that is. As I said, the previous episode completely spoiled every reveal from the Master to the Cybermen. to even Bill being shot because, of course, in one of the trailers you see her in a bed with, like, you can tell that there's a chest plate on her. So there's very little surprises. This episode, however, surprises around every corner. I mean, Missy killing the Master, a lot of people had speculated it. We didn't know for sure. So seeing it happen, seeing how it played out, was just, I was shaking. We didn't know where that scene was going. Like, it was clear that, you know, something was up. But we didn't know if Missy wanted to go with him. We didn't know that. Just, oh man, what happened there? I didn't like Missy again, it's the same thing. Nardole, Clara, and Missy. It was in their final moments that I went, I like you. Can you stay a little longer? I think the best scene of this episode is the Doctor running through the forest and blasting Cybermen. Any other time, I probably wouldn't like it, but, like, it was clear that Nardole had worked a hack in the realities of each level to be able to blow up things. Don't know how, don't care really. I was totally okay with the Sonic detonating explosions because the Third Doctor did it all the time. It's fine. It's not an out there thing for the Sonic to do. And it just, some of those scenes, some of those shots, Talalay. I don't think anyone makes Capaldi and the TARDIS look as good as she does. I mean, oh my god. Again, there it is. Heaven sent. The TARDIS, the way the lights flicker on. In this episode you have the way that the floor illuminates the lighting. Oh, Talalay. Direct everything, please. I instantly had a problem, of course, with the Bill and Heather thing. But just bear with me here, don't dislike and bugger off. That makes very little sense. The Cybermen can cry. Bill is very clear that she thinks that, or she realizes that none of her body is intact. I mean, we see an eye through the Cybermen's hole, but she claims that, or Missy claims that she was grinded into a pulp to be put into that suit. So, I mean, the idea that she still has tear ducts is a bit strange. I loved the reveal that that's the reason why Heather was there. It's just the logistics behind it seem a little bit difficult, but putting that aside, I thought it was great. I thought it was a very clever way to wrap up Bill's arc in the series, and I thought it was a very clever way to bring in where there's tears, there's hope, because when there were tears, there was the hope of Heather being able to help Bill. Or, and this is why I'm 100% okay with it if I adopt this idea, this episode pretty much sets out the idea that everything we're seeing may not be true. I mean, Bill thinks that she's Bill until she realizes she is a Cyberman. So, what if Heather isn't really there? What if Bill doesn't actually come out of the cyber suit? So maybe it is more of a metaphysical thing than we realise. The idea of, I hope I see you again, may actually be the idea that Bill thinks maybe the Doctor's dead, maybe I'll see him in the afterlife, whatever that may be. Man, that was deeper than I thought, and made it a lot more sadder. Let's move on to the idea that a tear brings the Doctor back to life. The idea that Bill's tear, that would spark regeneration to kick back into gear. Maybe it'll get explained in the next episode. Probably won't. But it allowed for a great scene with the Doctor thinking about his previous, deaths, regenerations with the 4th, 10th and 11th Doctor. And it was a very clever move with the Doctor. It seemed like he was forgetting who he was. And Matt's line of, I'll always remember when the Doctor was me, made him go, shit, I'm losing it. I don't remember when the Doctor was me. And it's what kept him from regenerating. Now, we don't know why he's able to stop regenerating. Easily it could just be he's at the start of his cycle, and it's a whole new set of rules, basically. I mean, the first Doctor clearly was on his way out, and he held on forever. We're going to find out what that's about, because, I mean, that's kind of the end of the episode, which was peculiar, but great way to reveal it. Very clever, because, of course, we don't know when this is set. But the first Doctor's line of, no, I don't want to change or either, or whatever he says, it's very interesting. In the 10th planet, when the first Doctor wanders off to say, he's like, I'm going to go lay down somewhere, whether he left, and he was actually faking it, and he's like, I'm out of here, I don't want to change. If I stick with them, I might get killed, it might trigger it even further, and I'll regenerate. I think Christmas is going to be very interesting. But let's move on. Acting, as I said, almost every character in this was perfect, and all of them broke me. Every character had a moment that made my heart sink. I mean, every line with Peter Capaldi, every line with Bill, Nuttall's, you know, realization that he has to go away, broke my heart. You know, Missy and the Master's deaths were intense. And, I mean, even the girl that brought in the mirror, well done her. She at least tried. But holy crap, how is anyone going to beat Peter Capaldi? Because, of course, you have the speech with Missy and the Master, which is the simplest of the Capaldi speeches that we've had. You know, he's not trying to defeat a villain, he's not trying to, you know, impress anyone. All he wants is for Missy or the Master to just get what he does, why he does it. That it's just for good, it's not to win the day, it's not to impress anyone, it's just, it's the right thing to do. And it's a very interesting one, because of course the Master goes, oh, I don't listen to that. But surely some of that hit him. I mean, he's definitely listening. He says he didn't, but he's definitely listening. And I think that him telling the Master that laid down the groundwork for him to be able to help Missy. There was a brilliant use of silence in this episode as well. I mean, I love Murray Gold, and when he's used, he is friggin' used, but I think the Doctor's speech to the Master and Missy, keep coming back to it because it's a key scene, and it's one of the best scenes in modern Doctor Who. But there is a distinct lack of music, there's a distinct lack of anything really, it's just the Doctor's voice. It changes the scene. You know, Murray Gold could have flooded it with a beautiful piece, but it makes it all about the words that are written on a page that Peter Capaldi delivers. But of course, when Murray Gold is used, it's amazing, and I think the best piece of music from this episode is when the Doctor, you know, when Master and Missy disappear and the Doctor says, you know, without hope, without witness, without reward. And you just get this like glockenspiel or xylophone version of the Doctor's theme, and oh, it just drives a knife into you. Like a knife that would stab someone in the back. Shoot yourself in the back. Play the piece. And, I mean, the whole episode was directed, visual effects, sound design, everything was at a filmic level that I think watching these two back to back, the finale, it's just going to be, it's going to be a piece of Doctor Who history. And in terms of my favourite moment from this episode, because I feel like I should say it, it's the tiniest bit after the Cybermen's killed the Doctor and just says, let it go, Doctor, time enough, and blows up the planet, and then he's just there wishing for stars. He hoped there'd be stars, and it's just, I knew Capaldi was coming back, but it felt like the end of Doctor Who. Like no one makes me forget the show that I'm watching in the way that Capaldi does, the way he grounds every line that he's saying. There's just so much raw emotion in everything that he says. Oh, how is anyone to replace him? Thank you for not being heaven sent hellbent this year, Moffat and Doctor Who. You really pulled it off. I realised the lighting was shit in this episode, but just welcome to my channel, basically. Also, on Saturday, I'll have a review of a biscuit alongside Crispy Pro. And if you think that I'm lying, you're clearly also brand new to my channel. Thank you for watching this discussionary review thing of The Doctor Falls, and I will see you in another... Hang on, I haven't had a drink. Let me have a drink first. And I'll see you in another video. Thank you for watching. Oh, but